Hello, Daily OTG, OGT. Sitting here, all this wire in my hand, with no intranet. Yeah, I said intranet. No Wi-Fi. As you can see behind me somewhere, well, my box is red. Red means no good. No go. It's just me and my camera here. That's all I can do. Don't really know why I got my headphones on. Don't exactly need them. So, what do we want to talk about? My hair. Ah, brass tacks is me and Greg, OGL, are official. We are now an entity. Me, my name, doing business as my name, OGT Creator. August 7th, 2023. Got a bank account and a business name, a tax ID number, a zoning permit to use my studio apartment as a studio. And yeah, register of deeds. So that's a good thing. We have recently become semi-monetized, so I'll explain this. Monetization has traditionally been 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. So we were right at 730 some subs and way over the 4,000 watch hours. In fact, now we're over 8,000. So we've over doubled it. And I was pretty satisfied with waiting till the 1,000 subs, but YouTube come out with a new policy, which is good for subs. 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and you get, I would call it semi-monetized. So you can do super chats, stickers, memberships on your YouTube page, live chats. You can open up the sticker super chats, donations. So you're not getting ad revenue and you're not fully monetized. But this is helpful. This is good for a lot of creators. I see someone like us as being, I wouldn't say it hurts us, but I guess it doesn't hurt us at all. It seems kind of like we were almost there and then other people got to slip in the door, which we could get the subs if we wanted. All you got to do is put a bunch of shorts on with clickbait, get subs real quick. Cute little shorts, you'll get subs, but they're the type of subs that most likely will never return to your channel. And we're trying to build a community as the Charismatic Voice, Lost in Vegas. There are several really good reactors in the Tank Tech, Andrew Rooney, Julian Ion. There's a lot of good. Polo, you're great. Venusaur, a lot of people who have created communities within Discord, Patreon, um, the YouTube membership itself. And that's what we want to do. Because I don't really want a sub who just hits subscribe because they liked one short and kept going. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that as exactly the way I meant it. Those are not the type subs we are interested in. So we could go out and get 200 of those subs fairly easily and become fully monetized. But I did that to get my first 100 subs. In other words, I would grab my aunt's phone while she was talking that didn't really know how to work YouTube and say, hey, can I look up a video on YouTube? She'd say, yeah, and I would subscribe to my channel. That's probably not the correct way to do it. Sorry, YouTube. She was my aunt. She did give me permission to look up a video. I just looked up my video. And my finger slipped across the subscribe button. So, I would call those beg, borrow, and steal type subs. Also, I'm, terminally ill. And I've had so many people within the YouTube creator program tell me to use the sickness, like not in a disrespectful type way, but let people know out of pity they'll subscribe. But too much of being oversensitized to anything is bad, including pity. As someone that never gets pity, absolutely needs some. Everybody needs a little pity in their life. You can say you don't all you want, but it's good. It makes you feel good. Lets you know people care. Gives you faith in humanity. Helps you deal with this existential or internal threat which you're facing, whatever it may be. I don't compare those type battles, no different than I do mental health. If me and you, whoever you are, had to walk up a hill and we both had to carry heavy loads, we're the same age and height and I don't want to say gender, but we're the same. And you had to carry a 30-pound bag and I had to carry a 60-pound bag, or vice versa. We still both carried heavy loads up the hill. So to compare that is kind of petty, if you ask me. So while I'm 44 years old and I have end-stage COPD, I was going to say 16, but it's actually technically 15% lung function now. So yeah, only 15% of my lungs work. And probably will end up having to have a transplant. That is way better than someone who died in a car accident at 22. They didn't make it to 44. This is way better than someone who has cancer, in my opinion, taking chemo every day while we're both dying, as we're all dying. I get that. But when they put a clock on it, it makes it a little different. So all of you who tell people, or even in private conversations, who say, yeah, they're dying, but we're all dying. Maybe save that comment till a doctor tells you you're dying. Like, and you know it. Not, hey, I might die tomorrow. I'm going to die in the next 5 years. It makes it different, trust me. As we all deal with things differently, it may make it different for you than it made it different for me, but it makes it different. Puts a whole new perspective on I'm dying. And while the creators, the people that give you, insight on how to make it on YouTube, tell me that that's my sickness, I have copyright to it, I own it. It's mine, own it. I do, every day. But I'm not going to get on camera and beg for pity, because every time I pump gas, I'm very slow because I have to catch up with my breathing. So everywhere I go, when I get out in public, it looks like I'm having a really hard time, and I'm pretty young, got tattoos all over me. I do not look sick. Um, there's nothing on my body that says I'm sick, where you can tell I'm sick. So when they look at me, they think I'm having some type of problem in that moment, like that hasn't been there. Something's wrong right then. Can we help you? Can we call an ambulance? Are you okay? Type deal. And while this is a beautiful thing that people want to help, it gets annoying. And I don't know how else to describe it. Not the people, not the gestures, not the sentiment. To yourself, in your own head, you're thinking, man, can I just pump my fucking gas, man, without being asked if I need help? Because you know you're sick. And you know, like when you ride the Mart cart in Food Line, all the people are looking at you like, you asshole, somebody else could probably use that. Here you are riding around on it. I'm very friendly and talkative to people. I don't carry my oxygen in because I am young. As long as I'm sitting here not exerting myself to exacerbate myself, which as you can see, I just had to take a deep breath there from talking. But riding on a cart is kind of more effort than it's worth and more breath, literally, than I need to exert to carry the oxygen in that short distance to sit down on the cart. So while a lot of people may look at me and think that I'm using that cart as in a disrespectful way, the people who may also need the cart are most likely more healthy than I am as far as walking through the store. Most likely, I say. So, don't always judge a book by its cover, I guess. Some people are too proud to run around and use their sickness as a weakness, basically, or as a pity magnet, or as a catalyst for attention. I'm not going to do that. This is probably the first video I've ever made explaining all this to my subs, to YouTube, to the public, to anyone. So, if you want to hit subscribe on my channel, our channel, mine, Greg's, OGL, do it because you like the content, not because of this message. This message is for anyone who may be quick to assume things, I'm not going to use the word judge, about a person who you may think is pretending to be upset or depressed or sick or just in need of help. Yes, probably 4 out of 5 of the people you see on the side of the road with the sign, please help, God bless, or whatever, they're using that, in my opinion, again, for pity. It could just say, I need help. You don't have to put God into it. If you need God's help, just close your eyes and talk to him. Her, it. Your creator. But my point is, 4 out of 5 of those people, if you give them money, they probably will go buy alcohol or something to numb the pain they're in, or to take their mind off the situation at hand, the cold night they're about to have to endure. But there's one of them people out of that 5 that literally had a set of circumstances that could have happened to you or me or anyone else that has them standing there asking you for your money. They have no agenda or no narrative that they're following, no reason other than literally being hungry or cold or needing help. So I usually don't give those people any either. I did today. There was a lady with her kid. Who knows? She's probably made her own path. She's probably laying in the bed she made. But maybe not. So I gave her a couple of dollars. I happen to have it. It was a spur of the moment thing. It felt right. My gut told me to, which I firmly believe that is how the divine speaks to us. It's through that gut feeling, that mythology, psychology, medicine, religion, politics, philosophy, philosophers, theologians, no one has ever been able to explain what that gut feeling is. So that in itself tells me that it is something more than what we can fathom, which is what I believe God is, or whatever label you want to put on the master of masters. Them, maybe. Who knows? Maybe like Men in Black. Maybe a bunch of gods. Or like Norse religion, I'll call it, because mythology is a bad word. Or mythology is a good word. But why they don't use it for the Christian faith is beyond me. Every one I know in the Bible Belt of the United States who is Christian of any denomination, and by the way, there are 22, they're all Christian. Catholics are Christian. There are so many Christians that have no idea that a Lutheran and a Baptist and a Seventh-day Adventist and a Catholic, they're all Christian. They may be different teams. I may like the Broncos. You might like the Panthers. Somebody else may like the Chiefs. They're all football. So if you do not like football, then don't like a team. Try another sport. This is my problem with denominations. It's like saying, it's kind of like our states in America, the divided states of America, or the United States, sorry. If they were united, then why, if I leave here in North Carolina and go across an invisible line, all of a sudden I have to wear a seatbelt, or don't have to wear a seatbelt, the law says. If I turn around and go back across that line, I have to, or I get in trouble. If I go north from here and cross the other imaginary line into Virginia, marijuana is legal for recreational use. But yet, if I go back across that line with the same legal marijuana I just had, it's illegal. So to call that united is just plain out false. Really aren't sure why America has the government as far as the government on Capitol Hill. We all have our own governments in our own states and our own representatives. So why not call it what it is? The divided states of America. I just wanted to vent a little bit, I guess, or talk, let you know a little bit about me, how I feel. Also, I'm very in touch with my spiritual side and with the divine, my divinity. Thought about it a lot as a man with a terminal disease. And I'm very comfortable with it. However, I'm not comfortable at all with any religion. I see truths within all religions. Every religion I can think of, I can see truths within them, fundamental good principles to live your life. And I apply all of those to my life. But I do not put a label on them. I do not differentiate one principle from another because one comes from one label and one comes from another. I have Reebok shoes and I have Nike shoes, and I like them both. They're my shoes. I focus more on, are they comfortable? Do they make me comfortable? Do they keep my feet comfortable? Do my feet enjoy wearing them? Not near as much on what the neighbors think about the brand of shoes I wear. This is a huge problem, and people can break it down political all they want, but really the religious beliefs are what has drawn all these lines in the sand of different countries. And when you break it down to fundamental simplistic nature of things, those religious beliefs are also what has caused many of the wars. I'm right, you're wrong. This is what religion teaches. Except for, I can see Buddhist and Hindu religions, they're pretty damn to unto others, are to each their own is a better way to describe it. Never had a Hindu try to make me become a Hindu or a Buddhist. It's mainly the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims are really the groups that want you to know they're right, damn it, and know you're wrong if you don't believe what they say. And this cannot be the way of my God, my Creator, my divine love inside that made me who I am, that gave me this consciousness, which I can think about things for myself. I do not need an interpreter to tell me how I feel, which is what preachers, reverends, evangelists, even the monks and the Dalai Lama, and I'm not making fun of anything here, but it's pretty obvious all these religions are talking about the same damn thing. Yet, if you do not subscribe to one of them religions, you are labeled an atheist, and this is fundamentally true. I have uncles in Virginia who are preachers, and you could talk to them all day and they will agree with many things you say until you say, well, can I go to the afterlife or to heaven, if you will, Valhalla, however you want to, enlightenment, sin, nirvana. Can I make it in the afterlife if I do not call God the name Jesus, or subscribe to the fact that I have to go through Jesus, who I totally believe in, by the way. I believe Jesus was a wonderful prophet with a wonderful message who had divine information. Do I believe he was the Son of God? No, or else what he would have done would have made no damn sense. First of all, he hung out with the lower class people, thieves, whores as the church label, and prostitutes, and literally fought the system, because the same ones that crucified Jesus are the ones that became the church. Prove me wrong. I've done my research. It's the difference. You can, I don't want to call it criticize, but you can question things if you've put in the work to understand them. I can't just say I hate basketball right now, because I don't really know a lot about basketball. I know the sound of the cleats annoy me, or the squeaks of their shoes. I know it's not really my thing. And that's just how I feel. But I can't really question why someone else would like it or tell someone else not to like it when I don't fully understand it. I don't fully understand religion. Nobody does. From what everything I can gather, the Bible is a wonderful collection of fundamental good principles to live your life by, and other religious texts as well. The Quran and the Bible aren't very different. In fact, they have a lot of the same characters. So, live life. Tomorrow does not exist. It's okay to make plans. You should. It's part of being an adult and adulting. But even procrastination isn't that bad. What I'm saying is to say I'll do it tomorrow is kind of a cop-out because there is no tomorrow. Have you ever had an experience in your life where it was not today when it happened? Have you ever been to tomorrow? Sure, man, I got plastered ass drunk, woke up, and it was tomorrow, man. Okay, it was the next day. It was the day after you fell asleep, which when you woke up, it was today. It's today right now. When you see this, it might not be my today. 8/8/23. It may be a different year, but it will still be your today. These are things I think about a lot. I think they're important. I think they are a big part of mental health. Because when we start telling each other how to live and how to think and how to do anything, on top of the fact that we're telling you at the same time that the way you're doing something is wrong, it becomes toxic. And all things that are toxic are not necessarily evil. Anger being toxic is not evil. Anger can be very constructive. And what we perceive as evil is not necessarily bad, and it was definitely given to us along with the rest of the world. There was a silly figure with horns that put evil in the world. Let me give you an example. Say you fall today and break your ankle, or say your child does, 8 years old or something, breaks their ankle, can't perform in some big play they had, and that was the whole future they had mapped out because they were an incredible ballet dancer. Well, 7 or 8 years down the road, if they totally crippled their ankle, they may come up with a new device that gives other kids from their own a prosthetic ankle, which they can have ballet if the same thing happens to them. So you see, that terrible thing that everybody thought was evil turned out to be a wonderful gift to humanity. In fact, most people that have had life-changing experiences that really made them change their life come from tragedy. Something bad happened to make them understand good. If sin or bad or evil did not exist, and our Creator did not put that here, this would be a literal, emotionless world. It would be like watching a movie where everything is perfect. Nothing ever happens in the movie dramatic, or every day is the same. They work, they come home, they tell each other they love each other. It's a beautiful thing. But would it be worth sitting down and watching? Would you get anything out of that movie? Would it teach you anything? The answer is no. It couldn't. How could it? If I record myself sitting here being good, staring at the wall for 2 hours, that's not interesting. Even if you found it interesting, you wouldn't get nothing out of it. So if you never worked that long day, you wouldn't know what it felt like to be comfortable on the couch. If you had never prepared your own meals so many times, you wouldn't know what it was like to have someone prepare it for you. If you had never been sick, you wouldn't know what it was like to feel healthy. If you'd never had a tragedy happen, you wouldn't know what it was like to overcome that and triumph. If you had never experienced evil, you would not know what grace was. You could not understand it because it would be meaningless. And that's all I mean. Take it as you will. Mental health is real. I love you all, even those of you who are mad at me right now. I love the haters. I love everyone and everything on this earth. And I will never, ever say that this earth was not good enough. I can imagine and anticipate and hope for an afterlife, but I would never expect it. I would never, ever demand it. I would never say that I deserve it. Repugnant is a creature who can cast an eye to heaven, conscious of his fleeting time here. Tool. Because this body holding me is reminding me that I'm not alone. This holy experience, spinning and weaving around these new experiences, our will and wonder are what drives us forward. The curiosity, the danger, the beauty, the life. Life is beautiful and it can be what you make it. That law of attraction thing is just a label, but I do believe if you focus every day on something you want, you can achieve it. If you don't achieve it, you will be happy with the struggle, for you gave it your all. That's all anybody can ask for. So if there is an afterlife, then great, totally awesome. If the grave is the end, then it's not like I'm going to be locked in a dark room for the rest of my life wondering, hey, why am I in here? It's going to be like before I was born. Do you remember before you were born? Did you suffer? Were you angry? Were you upset? Were you sad? Did you miss anyone? I hope this has helped just one person understand more about, at least gives someone a different perspective to look at life by, besides the ones that are told to us by the structures and powers that may be. Because if you think for yourself and question authority, then you can come up with your own answers. After all, who knows you better than you? And I've never believed that we have to be saved from the divine or by the divine, because the divine has already saved us, provided us with this beautiful Garden of Eden we live in, has provided us with consciousness and a mind that is aware of itself, to think and to imagine and to plan and to just do, to be or not to be. That is the question, right? A lot of cliches are cliches for a reason. And the truth shall set you free. But the truth hurts. But it don't give two fucks about how you feel. And fair is not a part of the real world. There just is. Deal the hands that you're dealt. Play it. If you got a pair, then bluff. If you got a full house, bet it all. Either way, live life to the fullest. Try to stay in touch with your emotions because the bad ones are there and were given to us just like the good ones. We cannot hide from being sad or angry or mad or spiteful. All you can do is acknowledge it and embrace it. The last thing I believe we should do is bury that feeling, or be kind of like a mixed drink. If the bad feelings are the alcohol and the good feelings is the chaser, if you keep putting alcohol on the bottom of the glass, there's not very much room at the top for chaser. So you end up with a very unbalanced drink that will totally overwhelm you and come out in ways that you don't anticipate. Same as discarding it or getting sick on your stomach, throwing it up, the bad. Well, if you keep that bad buried in your pit or your stomach, maybe somebody you love one day says something the wrong way, that triggers this feeling that comes out. You throw it up, and you may lose that friend. You may do something you would have never done because this emotion had to come out one way or the other. And if you didn't anticipate it, if you didn't acknowledge it and embrace it, it may come out in a way you did not expect. And you may hurt someone you really care for, when the whole time you were mad at yourself, not them. Think that'll do it. I love you all. I still don't have no Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi. Take care of yourself and each other. Love yourself. Don't strive to be like someone you love or respect. Be someone that loves and respects who you are. Peace out.